Some pairings just make perfect sense, like peanut butter and jelly, like sunshine and sunflowers, like onions and squash. In today's guide, we'll explore one of the best-kept gardening secrets: why onions are the perfect companion for squash, plus a few other plant pairings that can help you build a thriving, low-maintenance garden. Let's start with the perfect duo: onions and squash. One of the biggest headaches when growing squash is keeping pests under control. Squash bugs, aphids, cucumber beetles, they all line up for a buffet if you're not careful. But onions? They act like the quiet bodyguards of the garden. Their strong scent disrupts pest scent trails, confusing insects and making it much harder for them to even find the squash. Onions naturally release sulfur compounds into the air as they grow, and this hidden scent shield works wonders for keeping the bad guys away. It's like setting up a force field around your garden without lifting a finger. Pests like squash bugs, aphids, and even some beetles get confused and move along to easier targets. They can't quite figure out where the squash ends and the onion begins, and that hesitation can save your harvest. Best of all, this natural protection means fewer chemicals, fewer headaches, and a whole lot more happy plants. But the relationship isn't one-sided. Squash gives back too. As squash vines stretch and spread their wide leaves across the garden, they create a living mulch, shading the soil around onion bulbs. This keeps the ground cooler and moist longer, meaning less watering for me. And honestly, much happier onions. Even better, both squash and onions enjoy full sun, rich, loose soil, and plenty of airflow. They're truly built to grow side by side. In my garden, I like to stagger onions along the borders of my squash patch, creating a natural barrier and a beautiful, functional design. Don't miss out on my favorite plant combinations coming up next. Many of them are hidden gems you won't find anywhere else. Hit subscribe and help the channel keep growing. Of course, squash and onions aren't the only besties in my backyard. Let's talk about another garden friendship that deserves some spotlight: the carrot and onion combination. After all, if onions are good at confusing pests, why not pair them with another pest-prone veggie like carrots? Carrot flies can devastate a carrot crop, but their weak spot is scent detection. Planting onions nearby overwhelms and confuses the carrot fly's sense of smell, keeping them from zeroing in on the carrots. Meanwhile, carrots quietly return the favor underground. Their fine roots naturally aerate the soil, creating channels that let water, air, and nutrients flow more easily to onion bulbs. It's a beautifully invisible partnership, the kind of teamwork that happens quietly but makes a huge difference when harvest time rolls around. Now, moving above ground, there's another classic companion story we can't leave out: corn and beans. Beans are like the soil's personal assistants. They pull nitrogen from the air and fix it into the soil, enriching it for nitrogen-hungry crops like corn. And corn? Well, corn plays the role of sturdy big brother, offering bean vines the perfect natural trellis to climb skyward. It's a mutually beneficial arrangement that farmers and gardeners have relied on for centuries. If you've ever heard of the traditional Three Sisters garden, you'll know that corn and beans, along with squash, have been celebrated for exactly this kind of harmonious teamwork. The squash sprawls along the ground, acting as a living mulch to lock in moisture and block weeds. Meanwhile, the corn stands tall, giving the beans a perfect pole to climb as they enrich the soil below. Together, they create a complete self-sustaining mini ecosystem, a brilliant example of nature's design at its finest. Speaking of teamwork, few partnerships are more effective at natural pest control than cabbage and dill. Cabbage, unfortunately, is like an all-you-can-eat buffet for cabbage worms and moths. But dill comes to the rescue, attracting beneficial insects like ladybugs, lacewings, and tiny parasitic wasps. These insect allies swoop in and handle pest problems long before they get out of control. Plus, dill itself is a magnet for pollinators, bringing even more life and balance into your garden ecosystem. It's a simple, beautiful way to protect your cabbage patch without reaching for any sprays. While we're in the leafy greens department, let's not forget about broccoli and celery, another underrated pairing that deserves more love. Broccoli's biggest enemy is the cabbage moth, which lays eggs that hatch into ravenous green caterpillars. But when celery is planted nearby, its strong scent acts as a natural pest repellent, confusing moths and helping to keep broccoli safe. Even better, celery and broccoli have very similar growing needs. They both thrive in cool weather, need consistent moisture, and love rich, well-fed soil. It's a quiet partnership that can significantly boost both plants' chances of success. No drama, just steady support. When you step back and look at all these partnerships, squash and onions, carrots and onions, corn and beans, cabbage and dill, broccoli and celery, one thing becomes clear. Gardening isn't just about what you plant, it's about who you plant together. Each companion brings a special skill to the partnership. Repelling pests, enriching soil, shading roots, attracting beneficial insects. And when you build your garden around these friendships, everything becomes easier. Fewer pests, healthier plants, and bigger harvests without extra effort. So next time you tuck a seed into the ground, ask yourself, who's going to be its best friend? Plant smarter, lean on natural alliances, and your garden will reward you with a thriving, buzzing, bountiful paradise. Thanks for growing with me today. If you enjoyed learning about these secret garden friendships, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me for even more adventures in the garden. There's always something new to discover when nature leads the way.